Hi chocolate muffins! Cleo Games Are for Fight here. If you're wondering why I'm wearing my Morgan cosplay, it's because I wanted to show off what I've done so far. If you'd like some more information on how I made the costume and what I have left to do on it, see the previous video, which will probably be online by the time you see this video. Maybe. I don't know. I'm a maverick like that. Anyhow, I have been watching a lot of new YouTube channels, and by new I mean channels that I've never seen before, in preparation for Playlist Live in Orlando next week. And in the process, I've come across quite a lot of awesome channels that I'm shocked I never heard of before, and I'm doing my darndest to watch every single video on their channel, which is kind of hard for some of these guys that have like 100,000 videos. Okay, maybe not that many, but 700 videos is a lot to watch in 1 week. And I've actually really become inspired to try harder on my channel, which is a nice thing from seeing other people try hard. It makes me want to try hard. Trying hard. There's an internet meme in there somewhere. There's an internet meme in everything. And one of the videos I watched today that I found particularly inspiring was a recording of the Becoming YouTube panel at last year's VidCon, which kind of pains me to say because I was at that VidCon, but I hadn't yet heard of Becoming YouTube, so I didn't know how awesome it was, and I wasn't at the panel. But at least I got to see the video, and I got to hear what people were saying and what the panelists were saying. And if you have no idea what Becoming YouTube is, you needs to Google's it, because it is the shiznit. It is basically sort of a documentary slash skit comedy covering a variety of YouTubers. What is YouTube? Why do people do YouTube? Etc. I've already talked about it in a previous video. Yeah, I really like it. And one of the questions put to the panelists was, how does a smaller YouTuber get the attention of larger YouTubers that they want to collaborate with? And there were a variety of good answers. Some were pretty obvious, some were not so obvious. And one that I thought was pretty cool was, they're video makers. You're a video maker. The best way is to make a video asking them to be a part of your video. And I've actually done this before for a couple of other YouTubers, and nothing really panned out with the bigger ones, but that's okay, they're busy people, whatever. So I thought it was worth another try, especially since I might actually be seeing some of these people at Playlist Live. So, in the format of the top 5 type thing that everybody loves so much, these are going to be my top 6 YouTubers I would most like to collaborate with. That was a long title. Dog, you're being loud. Stop. And so in the top 5 format that everybody loves so much, here is my top 6 YouTubers that I would most like to collaborate with. Now this pretty much goes without saying, but it was extremely hard to whittle it down to a list of 6, and you know, there are more YouTubers than I could possibly even name in one video that I would love to collaborate with, and I'm sure plenty of awesome YouTubers out there who I've never met or seen who would also be great to collaborate with, and more on that at the end of this video. But for now, I'm gonna start with number 6, Jenna Marbles. So, Jenna Marbles, she's pretty up there. Everybody pretty much knows who she is. Even people that aren't really into YouTube generally know who Jenna Marbles is, or at least have seen her videos. She is a straight talker. She don't hold no punches. She is confident in herself. She is confident in her opinions. She isn't afraid to lay down her opinion, even if her opinion might be contrary to, you know, what a lot of other people think. And that's pretty freaking admirable, to really put yourself out there, especially in a format where people can actually see you and, you know, recognize you on the street and be like, hey, you're that one person who had that one opinion. I disagree with you. I shall follow you home. And that just got creepy really fast. Anyway, admire Jenna Marbles' bravery. I also do think she's a pretty funny girl, or woman I guess I should say. She's quite talented, she's got a lot to say, she has a lot of opinions, and even the opinions that I don't necessarily agree with her on, I feel like she's intelligent enough to actually have an interesting conversation about those opinions instead of just, you know, I think this and I'm gonna plug my ears if you disagree, which a lot of other people do. I'm sure I do as well. But I try not to. And point being, I think it would be a lot of fun to make a video with her sometime, maybe an trying to be intelligent conversation about a topic that we feel strongly about, or maybe a skit. I mean, you know, the possibilities are endless. I mean, this is YouTube after all. It's not like we have to answer to a overlord TV station that's going to be like, no, that's too risky. I mean, she's freaking Jenna Marbles. I don't think there's anything too risky for her out there. And yeah, I just think it'd be really fun to make a video with her where we get to wax poetic about things that piss us off. Or make us happy. That's a possibility too. You know, try to balance it out a little bit. Yeah. Number 5. TotalHalibut. So TotalHalibut is a video game vlogger, let's player, game reviewer. If you haven't heard of him, he's pretty much one of the biggest gaming channels on YouTube. He doesn't feature his face, but he has his voice in all his videos, and he is just, he's brilliant, to be modest. He's very introspective. He really thinks about his reviews. I mean, he had a video that came out recently where he talked about not hating on a game, specifically Thief, just because it's not like its predecessors. And if you guys have ever seen my opinion vlogs, which I don't do too often, but I should do more of, I guess, he has, you know, a similar thing going where he talks about video games. He uses video games as a platform to discuss deeper subjects that you might not have necessarily associated with gaming. And he talks about just games in general. And like him, you know, I like to tear games apart and build them back up. And I think it would be really fun sometime if maybe we picked a game, either a new game or an old classic or maybe both, and we just both took our own take on the video game and we discussed, you know, I feel this way, well I feel this way, well I feel that your feeling is wrong, well I feel that your feeling about my feeling is wrong, and yeah, hopefully it wouldn't be that chaotic, but something like that I think would be pretty interesting and pretty fun to do as well. Number 4. I just hit myself in the face. Yes, it is our own dearly beloved Lee Newton of SourceFed, who is by far my favorite of the SourceFed hosts, although Elliot definitely has a close second. You know, Lee Newton is kind of polarizing. She's extremely attractive. I think she was in Maxim's top 50 online women or something like that. I don't even know. But what I really like about Lee Newton is she speaks to the derpy part of me. She is a consummate actor. She can be serious, she can be derpy, she can be super derpy, she can be a Russian immigrant, she can be a drunk sports fan, and yeah, I know, I read the comments on the videos of a lot of the SourceFed videos, a lot of videos in general, and I know a lot of people don't like her skits. I personally find them hilarious. I love SourceFed's format of delivering news mixed with entertaining randomness and skits and, you know, making the news more palatable for people with short attention spans like me, considering that I'm getting distracted by my own hand movement. Yeah, I don't know that much about Lee Newton from outside of SourceFed. I haven't really stalked her that much yet. But what I have seen seems pretty cool, especially in the blooper reels for SourceFed. I love her quick recovery and her ability to jump in with a quick rejoiner that I'm assuming is completely ad-libbed since they're bloopers. My favorite SourceFed video is probably the Truth or Dare episode where they end it reenacting from Jurassic Park and she's sitting there. I watch that video at least once a week because I loves it. Oh, I'm Derek now. I loves it. That was my Derek impersonation. Please don't kill me, Ricky Gervais. Now it's time for 3, which is my favorite number. Did you know that I love 3? Benjamin Cook. So I've actually already mentioned Benjamin Cook early in this video when I was talking about becoming YouTube. Benjamin Cook is the mastermind behind that series and behind countless, well, more like 110 or so, collaborations with other YouTubers. He is a YouTuber from the UK with fire engine red hair and dreams of becoming super mad boss famous, at least according to his YouTube About page on 9 Brass Monkeys. And to be perfectly honest, I had no idea he existed until about 2 weeks ago when I started going through the Playlist Live special guest list. But 2 weeks is all it took for me to become completely interested in this particular person. I have watched every episode of Becoming YouTube, some of them multiple times. I have watched almost all his collaborations on other channels, and I've also watched interviews with him. I watched the panel, like I mentioned, from VidCon. I've watched other videos where he was interviewed or where he was doing the interviewing, and to be perfectly honest, he just kind of fascinates me. Now, he is obviously a talented actor, and I admit even I have trouble determining when he's acting and when he's being serious. That whole long-winded spiel on episode 10, for instance. But going on the assumption that everything he says has at least some grain of truth to it, I do have to feel that we're kind of in some of the same boats. We have some of the same opinions. We both, have dreams of becoming at least somewhat successful on YouTube. I don't know about Mad Boss. I mean, how do you quantify Mad Boss exactly? But I do think that we both come from the same level of seeing the other YouTubers and thinking, that's awesome, I want a piece of that. Of course, the difference is that he actually did get, or started to get to that point, and hence the whole becoming YouTube is a waste of time song, which is an awesome song, which doesn't dishearten me at all, because I was already fully aware of everything that goes on in that song, but which is rather macabre and indicative of a deep, seedy underbelly to the whole YouTube digerati, as he calls them, aka all the big YouTubers. Honestly though, as much as I respect and admire Benjamin Cook, I'm not quite sure I have the guts to be in a video with him. He does seem very cut through the bullshit type person, and I worry that if I was in a video with him, he might, see me as just a famous girl, and not, as someone with a valid opinion. But maybe I'm putting words in his mouth without ever meeting him, and that's kind of weird. Cut that part. Restart. But maybe I'm just being a little paranoid. We'll have to see. Hey Benjamin Cook, if you're watching this video, I swear I'm not as vapid as I seem right now. We should do a video. Yeah. Smooth, Cleo, smooth. And now for number 2, I present to you the super awesome, wickedly talented Mika Kitty and Nanalu, collectively known as Nana Kitty. Now, I started off just watching their parodies and their skits, but then as I got more interested, I started watching their vlogs, I started stalking their Twitters and all their other forms of contact. Now, at first I watched their parodies and their skits, and then as I became more interested, I started watching their vlogs, I started stalking their Twitters, etc. And then last year, I had the rare pleasure of meeting them in person at VidCon 2013. After waiting in line for about an hour, I got up to say hi to them and show them the drawings I had hastily done of them. This one and this one. And they seemed genuinely impressed, which is comforting for an artist who's not always super secure in herself. That, combined with their panel at VidCon, which I did participate in, helped me realize that beyond all the amazing talent that these ladies have, they're really just awesome people. Part of their panel was about how they deal with their insecurities as far as, are my videos good enough to show with everybody? How do I deal with the haters, etc.? And there was actually a part where Tessa kind of broke down crying, talking about the anxiety she feels every day. That really spoke to me. I think it spoke to a lot of us, and they just seem like really cool people. They just seem like generally great women, and I would be happy to do whatever it took to create something with them, whatever it is that we happen to create. And finally, the one YouTuber I would be most delighted to collaborate with, the one, the only, Tobuscus, also known as Toby Turner. Without a doubt, Toby Turner is the one YouTuber I have watched the most of. To date, I have watched pretty much every one of his skits, a good percentage of his vlogs, a good percentage of his Let's Plays, his literal music trailers, his everything he's created. And if you guys are at all familiar with Tobuscus, you know that he's a pretty prolific YouTuber. I know that his content can be divisive. There are numerous individuals who dismiss him out of hand because most of his fandom is primarily composed of screaming fangirls. But I have been internet stalking him long enough that I know he has more going on than just "Woo!" and "Hey girl, what's up?" Especially if you watch some of his older videos, which I'm kind of surprised are still up on his channel. Toby has a macabre side, a satirical side, a perversely humored side, and it is those different sides that I would be muy interesante, is that a word, in bringing out in a video of our creation. One of the comments that shows up on a lot of my videos, especially the Let's Plays, is, "Wow, you're just like a female Toby Turner." While hopefully that doesn't mean I'm merely a copycat, I do have to admit that our senses of humor seem to be rather complementary. This means that our collaborative efforts could result in something that's either totally awesome or totally horrible, but we'll never know unless we try it. And of this list, he's probably the most likely YouTuber I could collaborate with, considering both our relatively close vicinity, he lives in Los Angeles and I live in San Diego, and the aforementioned similarities between our humors and our video making styles. There's also the fact that we've talked together on numerous occasions, that we have several friends in common, but I'll wait until he actually says he wants to make a video with me before I get too presumptuous. So that's pretty much my top 6 YouTubers that I would most love to collaborate with, based mostly on how long I followed their channel and or how complimentary I think their channel would be to mine, but just because I didn't mention someone doesn't mean I wouldn't jump at the chance to collaborate with them. There are without a doubt thousands, if not millions, of super talented, super funny, super charismatic YouTubers out there, and I would be extremely honored for the chance to collaborate with any of them, whether or not they've been accepted into the YouTube digerati yet. In fact, anyone watching this video right now might be an awesome person to collaborate with. I don't know how much time or money I can put into it, but if it's funny enough or creative enough, I'll make it happen. If you want to collaborate with me or just want to find anyone to collaborate with, leave a comment on this video. Tell us about your channel and what ideas you have for collaboration. Hopefully we can get some dialogues going and maybe make some connections, both for those of us looking to grow our channels and for those of us who just have more fun working with others. I promise I'll be reading and responding to every comment, and who knows, maybe the perfect partner is waiting in the comments right now. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. If not at Playlist Live, then at least in the comments. Bye!